What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another trader recap video. This is the recap for Friday, September 9th. Today we didn't have a kind of similar theme to the rest of the week. It was a little bit tricky. Opportunity was limited, and we didn't have a whole lot of stocks holding up very well. The leading gapper this morning, being DMS, it did go into the close up 71%, but the opportunity was pretty tough on it. I attempted one trade on it through this area, but I'll get to that in just a second. On the day, I'm going to be down $7.44. So essentially, it's essentially, it's a flat day, and I only took 3 trades. First was a small red, second was a small green on DMS, and then the third one I tried to stab on YOSH, which was an IPO from today. But I'm going to cover that one last. So let's get straight into it. My first trade was on MOGU. This one was up. I think it was the second leading gapper being DMS. But I had my eyes on this one and Pixie into the open, PIXY. This was stock that was up significantly yesterday. And I was watching this one on the open, but I didn't end up taking any trades on it today. So I missed the move right away on MOGU, but then it rejected pretty hard. I tried one trade here when we made the red to green. We came up over this pre-market level right here, and then pulled back down into this previous resistance. I tried it there for the retest high. It didn't hold up very well, as you can see, and I sold for just a couple cent loss. So it was good risk management on it, target being 95. It tried that level a couple more times, failed, and didn't really give any other opportunity. It faded for the rest of the day. So that was that one. Second trade was on DMS. This one I might have left a little bit on the table on because I switched gears to MOGU when that started making the green move straight out of the gates. So I totally missed this curl up here on DMS. And then when it broke through, I was watching at these levels, but it broke out without me. I was a little bit skeptical because we had all these wicks in this level, so I wanted to see it over it and maybe a pullback to retest. But it ended up just moving higher without me, so it was a little bit of a mistrade on that one. And then I tried when it broke over this for the retest of resistance, previous resistance here at 33, and it gave like 4 or 5 cents. It ended up being green trade, and then yeah, but it was small, so it was pretty tricky. This one then broke below VWAP in a pretty big fashion, came back up. Didn't really give much opportunity. The volume was very light in this area, so. Yeah, you had to be. I think the best opportunity on DMS was on this section right here, which I didn't do too well because I didn't start trading it until the higher part of the move there. So left a little bit on the table there. But it's like I said, it was a tough day today. The opportunity was certainly limited. Stuff has been having a hard time holding up. I mean, there's just been a lot of wicks, and yeah, charts have just not been so pretty. And last but not least, my trade on YOSH. Now, this is the one that I really could have done better on. Because it did provide a nice dip and rip, which I'm going to show real quick from the stream, and I totally left it on the table. Reason being, I was just a little bit skeptical on it because it was a recent IPO, but going forward, I'm going to trade them because usually I'll just kind of set in the sidelines, but they do give some decent opportunity, so I'll try trading it next time, or if it's an IPO that looks similar to this, just with smaller size, so it's not something that's super uncomfortable. But it did give a nice dip and rip. And this one is pretty crazy. It only debuted with, I think, 2.4 million shares, and we had that basically rotated in the first couple minutes already. I mean, it was pretty wild. We had 20 million shares of volume, and so I mean the shares rotated. The float rotated almost 10 times on it, which is pretty nuts. But I was pretty disappointed on it here when we had a false breakout into a halt down, and that was basically that on that one. So I was very hopeful for it when it halted up here. And it did give a nice dip and rip, which I'll pull over that right now. But then, yeah, it faded, and that was disappointing. As someone who's a bull at heart. So let's get to the resumption. So right here, watching for resumption at 21. I wanted to see if it would gap up higher or open higher, which it did, and look for the dip and rip. But the trouble was I missed it because I was expecting it. It dipped. It resumed here at $5.89, maybe about $6, and it resumes. Yeah, there's resumption. And it dips down there about 20 cents. So it gives a 20-cent pullback, which I was thinking it was maybe going to come closer to 55, 60. So I was thinking it was going to flash down maybe a bit more, and that was going to be my entry. And it reversed right there, went to 6. It's holding up above 90, holding, and then there's 605 in the ask, and then it squeezes to 35. And there was maybe a micro pullback there at 20 to 40, but that was a little bit more risky. But the dip and rip really was not so bad on it, and I left that one on the table. So there's resumption at 6, dips, holds 90s, then it cracks, and there's 25, 30 cents. So, I mean, that was a 40, 50 cent trade. I had 400 shares lined up right there. So certainly left potentially, 150 on the table on that trade. But I think also the reason that I didn't take it was because I was using a little bit too high of share size on it. So maybe next time I'll take 200, go half size on it, and then just stick to it and go confident on the trade, and then play it from there. So that's that. It ended up fading, like I said, for the rest of the day. I'm gonna close the day minus $7.44. So I'll be back. I'm gonna take the weekend and study up, and hopefully come back on Monday ready for the money. No, but yeah, hopefully I'm gonna give some better opportunities. Be looking forward to some hopefully nice gappers, some good opportunity, and maybe hopefully next week things hold up just a little bit better. Pixie, man, this one's holding up pretty high. It did a little bit of a similar thing that it did yesterday, where it kind of faded off the open. Yesterday, it gave a little bit more opportunity than it did today, in my opinion. But then it just didn't really fade. It came a little view up, and then it held up, tried view up again, couldn't. Tried again, couldn't really hold, and then we had this $6 share move in the afternoon. But again, I didn't participate in that. So anyway, that's going to do it for me. I'll be back on Monday. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Later.